good comments on that in the last video we did.
Oh!
One person into it. So that could be you if you have high energy.
Welcome back to the channel. I'm Justin Burke. I'm a singer-songwriter and vocal coach.
And I'm Peyton. I'm a techie director dude.
Today we are going to react to another BTS live performance. I'm super excited because Peyton has a wealth of knowledge as far as cinematography, directing, so he's able to comment from a completely different perspective. We're about to get into it really quick. Before we do, make sure to join the family if you're new. And then finally, if you want to improve your singing, you've got to get on Singer. Click the link in the description. It's right down there before you move on to the next video. Take the free lesson. I'm instructing it. It's 15 minutes. Record your voice before, go through it, record your voice after. I'm challenging you. I dare you. You will hear an improvement, so go check it out.
Well, we've done one of these videos so far, and it was another live performance from BTS group, and I was pretty blown away by it. And then I was reading a lot of the comments that people were making, and it was just the wealth of knowledge that's out there from this huge army of fans that this group has is amazing. There's just so much, so I was really enjoying those comments. So feel free to keep putting them in there and filling me in on a lot of that stuff that we haven't really seen out here in our pop culture. And they got going on out there for sure.
Yeah.
What is that? What are those things?
Oh, is it because they're so loud?
I don't know. I think it's just a fashion statement. That's a cool set. Jib up, are they gonna push to it? Audience? Yeah, there's the push. Okay, nice.
So push meaning the music.
Yeah. There's a cool transitional shot. You go from her over to the stage. They like to do that for the open of this. Oh, is that Fake Love thing? Is that what this is?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I'm starting to get to know the song now that I've heard it a couple times. Choreography on point.
I love that cadence there.
Some backlight going on, cool.
It is so their choreography, their dancing is so tight. I mean, I'm all about the vocals, but I just have to say right now because it's kind of hard to hear the vocals over the crowd because the crowd was screaming so loud.
Yeah, they're into it.
But it's so on point, and then even the camera movements are like on point with the dancing.
Yeah, from what I've seen, yeah. But we'll see the rest of this and see how it actually ends up looking.
Right.
Nice.
Whoa.
I like the stage. You see that? It's like, it looks like it's glass almost.
The stage?
Yeah, it has like this really cool layer to it. I don't know if it's, I have to look at it a little closer to see what it is. Do they also have the lyrics on the screen?
Interesting.
I wonder if that's
I think they do down
someone
there,
that added that uploaded this video, or if that's actually in the broadcast. Although it's covering the bug in the corner, so I don't think it's the broadcast.
Somebody else added that.
Yeah.
I will say I'm curious what RM's speaking voice sounds like because he has such a deep, raspy rapping voice. I would be curious to know what his speaking voice sounds like. Yeah.
The worst thing when you're live is cutting to an audience shot where they're not into it, or they die off as soon as you come to them. Because sometimes you have like people reacting for camera's trying to sell it to the truck. Truck's like, oh, that's great on 16, we're coming to you in a second. And then they come to the camera, and then the crowd's like, oh yeah. Or like they end up doing something stupid because like they think that the camera's on them and they must be live. Well, they have to wait till the tally comes up until they're actually live, and then the crowd doesn't always know that, so they'll react right away and then they'll die off and they'll like
and then by the
so
time
this
you're
happens
just like,
all the time, and it's so annoying. And a lot of things that we shoot, it's just we come to an audience
You've
shot.
had that happen.
Yeah,
you come
we come out to a dead audience shot, but you have to hold it for a second, or else it looks like an accident. So it's like you just have to kind of live on it for a second and then come back to it, and it is what it is. But
that's what
the worst is when you have like an audience shot and like people are asleep in the audience or something. Oh, like it's the worst. You have a great like panning shot of like this keynote thing, and then you have one guy asleep. Like this happens all the time, and it's super because
all the time.
Yeah, no, so yeah,
Jeez, guys, wake up!
It's be a good audience for live TV. If there's cameras in the room, there's a very good chance you're going to be on cameras. So
be a good audience.
Look energetic, or else you're not going to be taken live. Like literally, that's all the cameras are doing for the audience. They're just standing, looking for people that are looking high energy. So if you ever want to be in one of these shows on camera, just go crazy, like be super energetic, because they're just literally looking around like, oh yeah, that's a great group right there. Especially if it's a group. If it's just one person, but if it's a group, oh yeah, then you're in it for sure.
The scheme.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. She's like, Okay. They only have like just a few cameras on this. They got this one, a couple wider shots, and then the audience
I see what you're saying about the stage too. That is really cool.
Yeah. And you got your wider and your steady. They have to cut around this, or else they're going to cut to steady. To see if they go wide. Oh, they go.
So what's? Oh wait. Okay, wait. You comment on the visuals. I'll comment on the audio.
Sure. Well, I'm just saying, like, it's such a tight space that having all these cameras in there, it really only seems like 4 or 5 cameras from what I've seen so far. And you can't come to a wide with that Steadicam right in the middle of the stage, or else you're going to see him. So they're really having to work some magic, and that's why they're cutting in so much crowd shots to give Steady a chance to clear frame, so they have a clean shot of the stage.
Interesting.
This crowd shot that we're paused on, this is like not even good because it's not shaded
It's
properly.
not. Yeah,
it's
there's
not bright
there's
enough.
no lighting on it.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, as far as the mix goes, of how they're running the mix, I think what's happening as far as a backtrack goes is that I think they have maybe 20% of the volume of the lead vocals in the backtrack, and then the live vocals are making up for 80%. And the reason you will do that a lot of times, like many times even for me, sometimes when I'll go perform, like depending on the venue, I will have maybe like the volumes or the lead vocals up maybe to like around 20%, just to give a crisp mix for the audience. Because see, what happens is you got drums, you got big instrumentation. Sometimes depending on the mic, you don't know if it's going to come out with clarity. So sometimes you need a little bit behind it just to give the audience a chance to actually hear your actual lead singing.
Right.
Then what happens is it just blends in with the actual lead. You don't really hear it, but it just allows for your lead vocals to be more crisp. Another tip, a lot of times what people will do is they'll boost the high end EQ. Right. So I cut all low end EQ.
Yeah.
Because
it's for the vocals, right?
Absolutely, because many times when you're performing live with most mics, it tends to be more on the muddy side.
Right.
Very
muddy
rarely,
on that lower end, it's just
very rarely would you have any like a high mid range or a high end kind of mic when you're performing live, and so that's why typically for live shows, I'll probably do what BTS does and just have like a little bit of a backtrack with vocals, but I cut all the low end frequencies and boost the high end frequencies. So that's what I mean by I'm saying a backtrack. It's not that they're not singing with it. It's just I think that the volume's probably about like 20 to 30% there. So
well, speaking of the mix, there's also 2 mixes going on here. Generally on live shows, you have a front of house actual live mix that's happening at the venue, then you have a broadcast mix.
Exactly.
So it's kind of interesting because you will hear and see issues in the broadcast mix that weren't in the live mix and vice versa.
Well, typically the broadcast mix also doesn't sound as good unless they do post-production on it, which possibly they do.
It depends on how they have it mic'd and everything.
Yeah.
But for live shows, it's a little tricky. You can hear that they're doing a lot of crowd audience reaction environmental miking for this because you love to capture that energy. If you have this performance without the crowd in the background, it just kind of dies off energy-wise. So they'll put a bunch of shotgun mics all over the venue to be able to pick up these sounds of the audience.
Exactly.
And that's not going to be in the live mix because you'd get feedback and you'd be hearing your own crowd in the front house system.
Sure.
But for the broadcast mix, it's totally there to make you understand what the environment's like since you're not there. So 2 different mixes going on there.
Right, and I mean many times you'll hear the live mix if you're there in house. It'll sound great with all the reverb, and then if you listen back to it and it's just a dry mix of the broadcast mix, you're like, you're off pitch there. Oh, you're this. So anyway, it's definitely interesting.
Way less forgiving.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's so dark. There's a little light in there. There's Steady right there on the left side, stage right.
Is that V? Gosh, I know his tone just immediately. Such a darker tone. Oh, there's the shirt lifting. Come on.
Apparently this is totally like this, and every time he does this song, everyone was saying that he does that. So.
There's always the shirt lift.
There's so many comments on that in the last video we did.
What
So that could be you if you have high energy. Just go crazy. The cam op will be right there shooting you like, I found someone.
We got him. Yeah. Steve found him.
Steve got it.
Steve's our go-to guy. Good job,
just
Steve.
killing it. We got to bring Steve on every show now. Okay, so apparently people were saying in the comments that those are crowd chants or fan chants.
Okay.
And so apparently you can learn these fan chants for these songs, and then the crowd says things at certain times because that's what people are saying in the comments. Like that seems to be
I've seen that when I react to
I haven't seen it
K-pop,
much here in America, but like K-pop, now I'm figuring out that this is actually a thing.
Yeah. I just assumed if you're on the in, you're on the in, and you know what to do. But that's interesting that you can, like, they bring people in.
Well, I'm sure you would just be like, oh, everyone's yelling that, so I should yell it too. But apparently, like,
well, no, sometimes there's like intricate things. Like I'll react to other groups, and it's like like they'll say something and then the crowd will like say something back that's like different or something. You know, it's interesting. So
other interesting thing is, so this looks like an NBC broadcast. At least that's the bug that's in the corner. And I have noticed a different filming style. Like camera operating seems different on this show. This seems more traditional American broadcast than the Korean broadcast standards that we were watching in our other video. Those were a lot of really quick moves, and people actually point out in the comments, and I didn't really notice this as much, but now it's completely obvious to me. The cam ops actually are moving with these choreographers and their moves, or these people that are up there dancing
on time.
On time. So the cam ops are almost dancers in themselves. In like.
Interesting.
You would almost in America you have your union of cam ops. Literally now you have to be in like a choreography union as well. I don't know. I'm just saying like all of our rules and regulations.
To be a BTS.
Right. So like you'd have to be like in multiple unions
rhythm
to get those
and
jobs or
syncopation.
something. It's just like
to be able to.
A lot of the cam ops here just like they got their job down. They know how to shoot stuff. They've done it forever. They know American broadcast standards.
Dance.
But literally you can't like ask these cam ops to do this.
It's like the cam op guys are like doing the moves and like behind the scenes the cam op guys are like doing these like shuffles with their feet and everything.
Yeah, so we're not seeing that here on this broadcast.
Like a slide glide moonwalk.
So you can definitely see the difference between that broadcast standard and then this broadcast standard.
Yeah.
And I do really like the Korean broadcast standard because for these live shows, because you are getting a lot of that movement.
There's a lot of action and it's matched.
It's almost one person said that like it's years beyond American broadcast standard in that sense. And I would say like our cam ops here probably couldn't do that. Like that is next level stuff.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're remembering a lot of these moves and doing them real time, because you can't really call that like as a director. You can't tell them to move like that. They just got to know.
All right, Steve, do the moonwalk.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It's just like how do you call that? Because it's too many words. You got to just stick with camera cuts and graphics and such.
Right.
So
interesting.
Been really impressed by that so far.
Interesting.
That's cool. Probably come to the crowd are super wide here. There's the crowd, so the stage can be clear. Back to the full wide part of the stage with the push. Oh, he was steady, nice.
That's cool as he walks.
Smart. Crowd again. They use that shot so much for filler.
And I have to say too that just the cadence, the flow, the articulation, where they're hitting right on the beat. So they're having to walk, they're having to do this, like whatever that cadence was. That's extremely difficult to do, even though you're not necessarily singing on a particular pitch. It's just to be able to keep up that cadence right on the tempo while dancing and everything. That's incredibly difficult.
Oh, that was cool. Oh, that was a really great time shot. That looked really nice. Oh, that's great. Her reaction, yes, beautiful. That's the stuff we live for in the broadcast control room. We're like, yes, that's exactly what.
Good job,
see
Steve.
The energy.
Good job.
Steve's killing it.
Come on. What's she singing?
I don't know. I think this video is just slightly. I think this video syncs out a little bit. I think that's probably what it is. Not on the broadcast side, but on this YouTube video.
It's like she's got
singing the wrong song, or like got the headphones in, zoned out.
How dare you? How dare you?
The lighting and look of this set's really nice. The blues and the pinks.
Yeah,
looks really good.
I will say that I miss. Okay, so you see where they would hit there. Like hit? I feel, I guess like hit like whatever the dance move. Yeah, like they would like. I'm out of my element. Or something. I'm out of my element right now. Clearly, we both.
We need a choreographer here.
They just called it the nay.
I don't know. Isn't it the nay like, or is that the whip?
I don't know.
Okay, all right. Oh boy.
I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't ask
world
me. Don't ask me. Maybe we should cut this out, but I'm not going to. So anyway, we should have cut this out. Don't judge us. Okay. What was I saying? Typically the like the Korean broadcast or the filmers would have like moved the camera and stopped when they stopped.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
how I feel the difference.
Gotcha. I miss the camera move with the energy of the song on tempo.
I'm missing that.
Yeah. I mean, once you start seeing this in other, I think that's going to start to see something we see more in our broadcasts here, because it's going to start to blend over. And honestly, I think Americans actually really like it, because I enjoy it. Yeah. You sound like you enjoy it as well. Yeah. So it's something that they started, or at least it appears that they started, that might start to infiltrate the way that we shoot stuff here.
Yep.
I love when cameras fly through foreground elements like haze or fog like that. It just gives it so much energy, so much stuff, so much movement. So that little segment right there was beautiful.
And I heard a little sibilance there on a I think it was a C consonant. Let me hear that again. Yeah, but there was a little sibilance there, so that shows that this is live. It's really good. That's like spot on pitch.
But what is this stage though? Like,
that's a really good pitch for
look at the stage. So it's like plexiglass or some type of clear material on like metal support things. That looks so good. I think there's a little bit of lighting underneath it as well.
And the backlighting.
Like the set design of this set looks really nice. I'm not sure what venue it's in, but you got a nice wall in the background to put some cool graphics on, and then a bunch of bays of lighting to really kind of add to it. Obviously, they're kind of crowd facing, so you see those beams of light, so they look really nice. And you got some haze in the air to kind of give your beams some nice looks there.
Interesting. You can hear the so you
There's
can hear
Steve,
the
little Steadicam dude.
Steve.
Let's pause. Hold on. He's in a lot of the shots here. Right.
Oh, I see him.
But you can see him and his utility, and his utility's even got the stand in his hand. So with Steady, because the rigs can be fairly heavy, and when you operate
you
a long
always
time,
have somebody to
you have a utility that's more of like a American broadcast standard to have utilities or spotters whenever you are either like a handheld or a Steadicam like that, because you got to have someone watching your back. You have this operator that's going back and forth here. You have the stage. You have a bunch of tripping hazards. You have the audience. So having a utility there to be able to guide you into your shots, and a good utility is amazing because you're doing these secret little pats on the shoulder as far as like, hey, you got something on your left side, right side, so as you're walking backwards and forwards, you're letting them know like what's there. It's a really important job, and actually you get pretty good day rates for being just a utility. Like you're just watching out for the cam op. You'll see them all the time on those poor NFL guys that get tackled all the time. You've seen those like cam ops that just are filming and then like someone will tackle them.
Somebody comes in.
So some of them don't have utilities to block them, but man, I couldn't do that. But yeah, there it is right there.
Crazy.
So you can see with these wide shots, they really got to time it so the cam ops don't end up in the shot. In American broadcast, it's that's something we try not to do is include the cam ops. In other countries, it's maybe not as important, but here at least, it's something that we try pretty hard.
Just two guys off to the side there.
Like
wait, they're not in BTS. Wait a second.
Who are these people?
Who are these
They're
members?
not dancing very good.
Wait a second. That's funny. That's really cool.
That's
a beautiful stage, though.
Yeah, that slow push in with the lights in the back.
You can also.
Oh, that's a cool outfit. Whatever that is.
You can also hear. Like I said, I think on that chorus there, they upped the backing vocal to maybe about 40%. But you can still hear them singing on top of that backing vocal. And typically they're like right on with that. And so you will never notice it. Like you'll never notice it. But it's important to have that when you're doing a performance like this, because just in case something were to happen, or just in case like a mic goes out, which trust me, I've had many performances where like things will happen like that.
Right.
And for something like this, where half of it is the dancing, it's important to have at least something that they can fall back on. So I think that is important that they do that. And I don't think that that's like it should be something that anybody should be ashamed of.
Right. Yeah.
It's like
just good
what
practice.
You have to do. It's good practice. Yeah. Like that's a live vocal. I can hear that. Now this is cool because they have an octave. They got that lower octave on it, higher octave.
Oh, they did this pose again. So they must do this pose for some reason.
So explain this pose, because you guys said that there's so many different like hidden meetings and everything. And
this must have some type of hidden meeting to it.
That's a cool shot.
I know, so that's why I love that they ended it with that. That's why I paused it there, because Steady comes around, does a go around, and sees the audience there. And this is, if they're doing rehearsals, this is when you would have a lighting cue that almost has a little bit more audience lighting to bring that up a bit. It may not be the most fun for the audience because they're like, why is it getting brighter in here? But for this shot, to be able to take the brightness of the stage, which you can see it's now overexposed because the shaders cranked it a little bit, because the priority now becomes seeing the that audience.
Stage. So
you see how they're washed out. It's because now you're like behind them and it's a lot of light back there.
Yeah.
But the shader and the director, I think in this case, wants to see the audience. And so if they were shaded to stage lighting levels, these people would be properly exposed and they would look nice, but you would just see blackness behind them. So having this cranked up a little bit allows you to see that audience, and is a great way to end the segment.
That's a beautiful shot.
Wonder how they're going to get out of it. If he's just going to clear out, or if they're going to come to a wide. You probably will clear out. Because like you won't go to a stage
We do want to know what this is. There's got to be some kind of meaning to this.
Explain in the comments what...
I said they just like, all right.
Now he's going to clear... Oh, he's going to come around front. Okay. Ooh. Oh, he had to step down there. Wow. Okay, hold on. So that operator just stepped down off the stage in his shot, which is, that's not easy to do. And that stage looked like it was like a foot or two, like off the ground. So, woo, that's good operating, whoever did that. I mean, it's a little bit wonky horizon-wise, but like, still nice. Crowd reaction, steps up on stage, comes around, you got a little shadow there. The lighting cue happens a little bit late. They should come down. There it is. There's the audience. You can see it. Comes around. Yeah. And then steps off the stage, down, and then goes in front. Slow it down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, not a bad way to end it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then super
crowd shot there.
Super crowd, yeah. Another great performance. I really am enjoying this BTS stuff.
Yeah.
I will say that, as I said earlier, like this was definitely, it seems like an American production.
Yeah.
So I want to see more of these Korean productions. So if anyone has any suggestions for actually really any other country that shot this group and maybe has a little different shooting style, would love to see it and analyze it. So leave some ideas in the comments for some videos, and we'll definitely take a look at them.
As far as a singing perspective, I thought that it was amazing as always. Really shows how much control they have over their breath to be able to control those notes while doing all those moves, all that dancing. That's incredibly difficult to do. A way to practice that, what many people do, and actually what they do as well, is they'll go for jogs. So they'll go jog, they'll go get their heart rate up, and then they'll sing the songs. Or they'll do exercises.
While they're jogging, or they stop?
While they're jogging,
oh, really?
right? Okay. Yeah. And then obviously, of course, they're doing repetitions after repetitions with those same dance moves. I mean, I wouldn't doubt that they've done that 1,000 times.
Yeah.
You know, they've just done it so many times. I mean, even the shirt lift, like, that's what I'm saying. They just have it down incredibly well. They can probably do it in their sleep. But also, just another way to be able to perform on stage. Maybe you don't have a choreographed dance, but you just want to be able to jump around. You want to be able to bring a ton of energy. Well, a great way to practice is to actually go for a jog. Get your heart rate up while either singing the song that you want to sing or doing exercises that promote consistent airflow, like a lip roll, which I go into a ton on my channel, as well as in Singers. You can check those out. That's just a little kind of quick tip there.
So many. I was scrolling through the lessons you have on that program. It's like so many random little things that you wouldn't think are helpful, but then you start looking at it and trying it, and you're like, oh,
exactly.
Like even that 15-minute lesson you offer, it's like the little exercises you do in that. Yeah. It's just like night and day after you get done. You're just like, oh, what in the world? Like how can that? So it's just funny because it's like you search on the internet for all these like tutorials on this, and then there's so many random things out there, and it's like, how do you know what works and what doesn't work? So it's cool that you have that all in one place for people to check out.
Thank you so much, man. Yeah, and the scope and sequence is important, like the progression's important, everything is laid out on there, so you've got to check it out. Take that free lesson that Peyton's talking about. Come on, get started with your vocal transformation. Singing is something that you should be able to have access to. It's an amazing thing, and I want that for you. So make sure to click on the link down below before you move on to the next video. And then while you're at it, go follow Peyton on Instagram.
Yeah, hit me up. Like some photos, send comments.
Yeah.
I'd love to meet some of you guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Tons of love. See you in the next one. Peace.